the husband pays for everything and the wife organizes or whatever it is, you know.
That brings that breaches anyway, that brings up an interesting issue of money. Money is a huge part. I was just speaking with a friend of ours on the phone earlier today, and he was talking about divorce, and he was mentioning that he learned in psychology class back in the day that money, economics, is often cited as the number one cause for divorce, and it's kind of interesting.
Just the wind.
It's beautiful. It's lovely out here. There's a reason we're out here, but it's foreign to us both, so we're both kind of.
I walked in that hole.
I know. Thank you, by the way.
Money. Yes.
You and I don't have any problems with this. We're pretty simple people. We're not crazy spenders, and so I don't have to. Unlike some, particularly when I was a youngster, I knew some adult male husbands. My friends' dads often didn't really trust their wife with the finances because there was a lot of shopping going on that wasn't exactly worked into the budget on the front end, and therefore I think there's a great degree of distrust in the marriage itself when money kind of takes its root.
I also think you and I don't have that much to spend on now. You know, we have rent and bills, but we don't have kids, and we don't have a mortgage, and we don't have any student loans for our kids, and we don't, so right now we're lucky enough that it's simple.
Yeah, it is. And we trust one another.
Yeah.
If you want a pair of shoes, I trust you to get the pair of shoes, and I trust that it won't be a house worth of money.
I don't feel like it's fair to tell the other person what they can or can't buy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's where people get into trouble, is if they just keep buying and they use up all the money, and it's not half and half.
It happens.
But you want to buy it, like, why would you have to ask me for permission? Because I guess that's the part where, like, you can be your own individual there.
Yeah.
Let me know, just so when I, like, balance our checkbooks, I can just be like, okay, well, he spent that money there, that's accounted for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think? Theoretically, when you hear the priests or pastors or rabbis or whatever do the whole wedding ceremony, there's a lot of romanticism built into the idea of unity. Now that you're together, you two can inspire one another to become this and this and this, and unfortunately for a lot of people, that's just a lot of hot air. How do you feel for yourself? Do you think that as an individual, as yourself before anything else, do you feel that marriage has been, I don't know, not necessarily liberating, but perhaps, without sounding too cheesy or artsy, inspirational? Has it inspired you to be anything that you wanted to be?
Let me answer it this way. There is no one else on the planet that will help me grow to the person I dream of being other than you.
Fair enough. That's awesome.
That for better or worse, like, your traits and my traits, whether they're the good traits or the bad traits, well, I think that you and I help each other grow. And I think that, the part of you that shows me where I'm wrong will allow me to become a better person. That will allow me to grow to be that, that dream woman that I want to be. And that someone else with a different set of, of faults and good things, whatever the opposite of faults is.
It's Sunday. We don't have to think clearly. Sundays, you don't have to turn your brain on all the way.
You don't.
I'm working at like 7, maybe 7.5 on the 10 dial. I don't know about you.
That's generous.
Is that generous? Okay.
I mean, for me,
so bear with us. I mean, come on now. So yeah, faults, or the opposite of faults, whatever that
right,
might
that
be.
someone else with a different set of traits would not, would maybe just kind of be like, oh, well, she's right, move on.
Yeah.
While you would challenge me, like, I don't think you're right. And you, and then that's where you and I, the challenging part, I think the trouble part, is where you and I can overcome each other and ourselves to become better people.
I'm in total agreement with you. That's why I know I married the right woman as well, because she provides for me the very same thing. I mean, the reason we have such, I think, a magic connection is not because, oh, really? Me too!
Right.
Like, there's not actually a lot of that going on. You might know, as I've discussed before, there are some huge cultural differences between how she was raised and how I was raised. And as a result, there's some serious differences in how we approach the future that will no doubt butt heads once we have kids. More than they do now. But I mean, particularly once we have kids, it's going to be an issue. But I totally agree. All the other females I've dated out there are just kind of like, okay, whatever. And some of that okay, whatever, isn't really okay or whatever.
Yeah, it might be easier, but it doesn't help you. You know, it doesn't help us, like, become better people, you know?
And also you're in it for the long run, as am I. So you're like, okay, if I'm totally cool with this now, I need to be totally cool with this in 70 years because nothing's going to change. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know how it'll change.
Yeah. And I think the big thing there is trust again. Because we trust that the other person has the other's best interest in mind. That is to say
that you
that
have enough desire to change so that we can work together. And I think that's where the rabbis and the priests and the preachers romanticize it, is saying, you know, this is where you get to change for the togetherness part.
Right.
You know, it's not just to boost yourself up or to be right or whatever. This is where the together part comes. You and I are now, we are kind of one entity in that when I change now, I'm not going to just change for what makes me happier. I'm going to change for what makes us happier.
But you also trust that if something needed to change in order to make you happy, I'm cool with that.
Well, yeah, and it's,
you know,
I mean, the same thing goes for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
That if I need to change and you need to say okay to that change, and that's what will make us better, that's what will happen.
Yeah.